everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Cassie, if it's our first time meeting. One of the co-founders of Warrior Yoga Network. Really excited to share with you today a grounding meditation which you can use any time of the day, whether it's when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed, or if you just need a moment to reset at any point throughout your day. Just a little bit about Warrior Yoga in case you are new to our community. We are a community of yoga practitioners who have sort of stepped up to make the opportunities we have, the healing benefits of yoga and meditation, more available to everybody who could benefit from them. So we know that there are a lot of barriers to practicing, and so a lot of us just want to step up and provide these opportunities. Typically we host in-person community classes which are by donation or a really reduced cost, and so we'd like to keep that going here as we move our offerings online, which helps us to reach more underserved communities or underrepresented communities with the same practices that we know and love so much. So if you're in a position to be able to donate, then we'll provide you the details in the description. And if you are not, then this resource is for you. Consider it a gift from our community to yours. We would love to have you practicing with us no matter what financial position you're in, no matter what position you're in anything. You're so welcome here to join us in this. Beautiful. Okay, so for the meditation, you're not going to need really anything. I'm sitting up here on a bolster and on a mat, but you don't even need to do this on a yoga mat. You could do it on your couch, you could do it in bed. So if you're sick or if you're unable for whatever reason to get on a mat, if you don't even have a mat, then this is perfect for you. You don't need anything. And in this way, yoga is meeting you right where you are. No prerequisites. Beautiful. So just take a moment to sort of set the space around you. You might want to just clear things a little, have it be nice and spacious. If you want to take a moment and pause this to light a candle, just whatever you'd like to do to make the space around you as peaceful as you can, so that you can focus in here on your meditation. You're also welcome to sit or lay down for the meditation. If you follow my kind of advice, we'll start seated and eventually lay down. However, whichever works best for you, everybody has their own preferences. If you are sitting, to begin, you might want to find something to sit on. I'm using a little bolster here, but you can use any type of pillow. Literally the pillow from your bed if you'd like. Okay, so if you need a moment, you can go ahead and pause the video, otherwise we'll get started sitting up. I'm comfortable sitting cross-legged, but it could be different for you, so any way that you would like to sit. Just take a moment to physically adjust the body so you can find a little bit of ease, a little bit of comfort. So sometimes it takes a little bit of movement to be able to settle into stillness. Okay. And once you're here, if you're seated, let's take a breath in and think of reaching the crown of the head upwards towards the sky. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, think of softening everything around the frame. And we'll do that twice more. If you're laying down or if you're on your back, you can do that same thing still. Just think of lengthening your spine as we breathe in. Think of softening around the edges a little as we breathe out. One more like that. Let's see if we can start to settle into a bit of stillness here now. Of course, at any point, if you need to move, you could move. Let's see if we can explore how it feels to let the body be still. Notice resistance happens in the mind, or any other thoughts about stillness, or if the mind wanders already, just noticing without judgment and coming back here to the practice, to this moment here. I will start to notice all the parts of the body that are in connection with the earth, either directly or indirectly. Some parts of your body are weighted towards the earth. Let those spots start to feel maybe a bit heavier, or more rooted. If you like to visualize, I like to think of the body growing roots into the ground. As those roots grow, they become more intricate, and the body becomes more connected deeply into the earth. Just feel as we root down how the body feels supported. It's not going anywhere, it's held here. Notice that you're able to soften into the support of the earth below you. We're going to just, now that we've grounded, start to scan through how we're feeling. And I just want you to know that there's no right or wrong way to show up here, no right or wrong way to be feeling. We're just noticing for the purpose of awareness. So let's start with the physical body, feeling and experiencing any sensations that are present. Instead of describing them with words or value judgments, let's see if we can actually just fully immerse ourselves into the experience of what it's like to be in our body today. Start to notice how we're doing more mentally. Let's start with the content of our thoughts, or we can think of this as, how are we speaking to ourselves today? Again, not to judge, no right or wrong, we're just noticing. That inner dialogue been like? And a gentle shift just to notice then what is the speed of the thoughts? Or how much are we talking to ourselves? Along. Let's start to notice how we're doing more emotionally or spiritually. I like to think of this as, what is the heart saying today? Just feeling and experiencing what it's like, or what it feels like to be you right here now. Okay, we'll gently transition. Let's start to notice our breathing, and before we change anything, just notice first the depth of the breath. And then the speed of the breath. Just know that in yoga we welcome all experiences, and no matter how you're feeling today, there's space for whatever you're experiencing here. We don't shy away from the sort of extremes on each side. Just having sort of some compassion underlying for whatever you're working through right now. Beautiful. Let's come back to our breath and see if we can start to expand it slightly. So see if there's any space to think of breathing more fully. Maybe you start by allowing the belly to expand when you breathe in. And let it come back in as you breathe out. Just focus on that for a few rounds, the expansion of the belly as we breathe in deeply. And that gentle motion of the belly button coming back in towards the spine a little bit. Let the belly be soft and fluid. Start to go a little bit further. So now as we inhale, we'll start by expanding through the chest, and then the ribs, and then the belly, all on your deep breath in. And then as we exhale, we'll feel softening spread throughout the whole body. So we'll continue like that. The breath in, chest expands, ribs expand, and belly. Exhale softens everything. Continue like this a few more rounds on your own pace. For the next few rounds of breath, let's see if we can draw out and lengthen the exhale. So the exhale is going to gradually become a little longer than the inhale. This can be very incremental, so just bit by bit. notice how your body's natural reaction on the exhale is to soften and to release. See if we can ride that wave of release and just really embrace that softening through the body. If you're still sitting up with me, we still want to keep that nice long spine, that stable frame. But as we breathe out, as we soften, everything around that frame has an opportunity to sort of relax a little further. We'll be here focusing on that softening for just a few more rounds of breath. We're going to start to transition now onto our backs. If you feel you might fall asleep coming onto your back, maybe you stay seated. Or if you prefer not to be on your back, any other comfortable position is welcomed. This is just my suggestion. If you do have a pillow handy, it can be really nice to bring a pillow underneath the knees. And I just like to lay flat on my back. If you're comfortable with the eyes closed, then I would recommend it. If you're not, what you can do is just find one focal point in your eye, in your line of sight, and just allow your gaze to fix upon a spot. And then think of softening around the eyes a little bit. So from either way, eyes closed or eyes soft, gaze is resting on one place. What we want to avoid is sort of looking around the room, if you can. Okay, and then I like to just have my legs extended. Feel free to take up some space here if it feels nice to bring some space between the heels, that's perfect. Whatever feels right. And then for this first portion, we're going to start with the hands onto the body. So you could either bring left hand to heart and right hand to belly, or sometimes I find it's nice to bring both hands sort of onto the rib belly area and sort of making a triangle with your index finger and thumbs. So you're just kind of spreading the hands across the body. And just as we were, let's take a few just deep rounds of breath here. You'll probably feel the ribs expand into your hands as we breathe in. Continue to ride that softening as we breathe out. Notice how now as we exhale, we're becoming increasingly connected with the earth below us. And as we feel that support, that solid surface beneath us, the body is able to release in other areas. Sometimes we're gripping or holding on in areas and we don't even consciously do it. So we just take this process of consciously softening through the body. Wherever we are here in this moment, everything is all right. And all we're guaranteed is this here moment. So let's live in it fully. Let's experience it fully. I'll start to take you through a little scan through your body. And all we have to do is just bring our awareness to that area and allow this wave of softening to pass over it. So let's start with the scalp of the head. Just let this wave of softening pass over the scalp. Let's spread that softening onto the forehead. Now softening the eyeballs and all the space around the eyes. Notice if there's any space for softening in sort of the temple area, so just outside the eyes. Let that softening spread down into your jaw. Maybe the teeth will start to part and the tongue could fall away from the roof of the mouth. As we gradually continue to soften, continue to feel that support of earth below you. Maybe it's the softness of your bed or your yoga mat, or maybe you're right on the floor. Wherever you are, just feeling how as we soften, there's something there holding us. We'll now soften down through the neck. We'll let it be a softening also behind the neck. Let the shoulders melt and soften away from the ears, heavy towards the earth. Let the space around your heart soften. You could imagine a warm light glowing around the heart space and just sort of passing around the heart in a circular motion. So just sort of swirling around the heart, providing this warm softness. Softening down through the ribs and the belly. Now allowing the hips to be heavy, weighted towards the earth and supported. Let this wave of softening spread down through the legs. All the way to your ankles, out through the feet. All at once, let's soften the whole body. We'll take a few more moments here in this stillness, in this silence, in this ease. See if you can write yourself a little permission slip to be here with nothing to do, nowhere to go, just you here experiencing the body. We're going to take that little scan back through how we're feeling, and we'll go a little quicker this time. Just let it be almost a sort of snapshot to feel and experience briefly each different aspect of how we're feeling, and just maybe noticing the sometimes little shifts, sometimes big ones that can happen in just a little bit of time, just really a few minutes here on our mat together. And we'll start with the physical body. See if you experience the physical body maybe any differently. And now the content of our thoughts are how we're speaking to ourselves. Now the speed at which the thoughts move. And now how are we doing emotionally, spiritually? What is the heart saying now? Or you can think of how much are you feeling now? And bring your attention or your awareness now to the breath. What is the depth of your breath? And what is the speed at which the breath moves? A longer, fuller, deeper breath is more associated with our parasympathetic nervous system, part of your nervous system with the rest and repair or the healing response. And so this is why we put so much emphasis on deepening the breath through our practice. But sometimes it might take some continued practice for you to see these shifts. If you'd like to continue right here on your mat, feel free to pause this video and stay here a little longer. If you're in your bed, you could even drift off to sleep. Otherwise, we'll start to come out of this together. My recommendation, if you're on your back, is to draw knees in towards chest. Just hug them in towards your belly for a moment. Maybe you sway a bit side to side. Let's take a breath in and hug our knees in even closer. And as we exhale, we'll roll onto the right side of the body, knees to belly, chin to chest. And just pause here in your fetal pose. I might use that left hand to gently bring yourself back up to any seated position that you'd like. The gaze can still be lowered or eyes closed. We'll take the hands to interlace behind the head, sort of like you're holding your own hand here, but the palms are exposed. We'll take a breath in, we'll squeeze our shoulder blades back behind us, lift the heart, maybe the gaze slightly. Gently as we exhale, we're guiding the chin towards the chest, the elbows hug in towards each other. Take about 2 rounds of breath right here. Try not to force the head, but we're just gently guiding it forward. And on our next inhale, we're gonna draw the heart up towards the sky, leaning head back into the hands. Squeeze shoulder blades together. And breathe deeply here, waking back up through body. We'll use the hands to gently guide the head through a neutral position. Rest the hands back on the lap. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope this meditation has been of some comfort for you. Namaste.